All right, members of the Indian diaspora converge in New York. Prime Minister Narendra Modi all set to be meeting them in just a little while from now. He will be interacting with the Indian community in New York's Long Island. In fact, we're looking at that venue there that's completely colored in desi hues. It's all the music, the dhol baja. Indian diaspora prepared multiple cultural performances to be presenting in honor of Prime Minister Modi being there. Indian scene embracing their traditional outfits with all their cultural performances that's already begun, as we see on our screens there. The streets of New York buzzing with garba, bhangra and all the Indian folklore performances. In fact, we're seeing the dhol tasha representing the state of Maharashtra as the members of the Indian diaspora await Prime Minister Modi's arrival to perform before him. Modi will be addressing hundreds, in fact thousands of Indians in New York, and the time that he's set to speak is likely 9:30 p.m. tonight.
What do you think about the Indian Prime Minister?
I think it's great he's coming here, bringing people together, bridging nations and people, and everybody coming together, do something positive for wellness and happiness.
We have to improve the relation between the US and India. So that is the main intention, because we know, right, so Modi is the only supreme leader, right, okay, he's establishing a strong relationship with all the countries. So that should be continued the same way with the US also. And it should be more strong. So it's in terms of trade or in terms of the peace or whatever it may be. So it's better to have a good relationship with the US.
सुबह 4 घंटे लग गए, सुबह 4 बजे निकले थे और 9 बजे पहुंचे, रुकते रुकाते समोसे खाते हुए मोदी जी से मिलने के।
समोसे कहाँ खाए?
समोसे रास्ते में हमारे को मिले, हमारे गुजराती हमारे दोस्त हैं, उन्होंने पूरा इंतजाम कर रखा था रास्ते में।
आप कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं? वैसे
हम यूपी से रहने वाले हैं। यूपी सहारनपुर से।
अच्छा, आप कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं?
हम रहने वाले बिहार के हैं और मोदी जी का तीनों इवेंट हमने मेडिसन स्क्वायर, हॉडी मोदी एंड आज यहाँ पे है। तो आज बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है। मोदी जी के कारण आज पूरे हमारे इंडियन लोगों का ब्रांड बन गया है। तो मोदी है तो मुमकिन है। तो बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है। सारे लोग काफी हर हर मोदी है।
दिवाली अभी आने वाली है। दिवाली पे कौन आए थे? राम जी आए थे, हमारे मोदी जी आ गए, ये हमारी दिवाली।
And joining us right now on India Today is one of the organizing members, one of the members on the steering committee of the Modi and US events. Sir, thank you so much for speaking exclusively with us. Just give us a sense of what went into planning of this such a big event. We're looking at the things that have been set up here. Must have been a lot of planning. Just trying to understand what went through all of that. How many months of planning? How many organizations? We're hearing about 40 organizations. We're hearing about people coming from different states. So just tell us, everything about what went into planning of this event.
So this is the historic event. This is the 4th event, and it is after a long time. 2019 we had a Howdy Modi in Houston. And there was a popular demand from Indian American diaspora for Modi ji's reception. Last year when Modi ji came on the state invite, that time it was mainly in the Washington DC. So many people were feeling deprived of pleasure of interacting with Modi ji, and this is very on our popular demand it happened. This event has been put together in a record-breaking short amount of time. Generally, in the past event, for example, Silicon Valley, when we put together, when I was heading that event, it was almost took 3 months to do that. While this one, it is in 1.5 months. So it's a historically lowest number of days. And for that, if you look at it, that almost 498 organizations are partner organizations. Okay. And those organizations, they participate into that. Volunteers point of view, almost 300 volunteers are working for a long time, and steering committee member, host committee members are almost daily calls. Just like in office, there are some people are working almost 24 hours in a way. So that way it has been a very...
so you're saying 6 weeks to put all this together, just 6 weeks?
It is a 6 weeks from booking the place point of view, but the thought process and invitation has been there for a while.
Okay.
And so that's a very record amount of the Karyakarta's passion, the daily, because of the compressed period, they were almost working a daily basis.
We're seeing the excitement, and this event here, as I see, is grand to say the least, and that's what most diaspora events are like. But does it also work and double up as a place of networking? Because Indians love chatting with Indians, especially when abroad. There's the sense of familiarity, you're excited, and that Indianness really comes out. Events like these, particularly when Prime Minister Modi arrives, how does it also double up as a networking event? What purpose does it serve apart from greeting and meeting Prime Minister Modi?
This is such a show of strength.
Yeah, it's such a flex.
Yeah, it's a flex. I mean, the Americans are seeing this, the Indians are seeing this, the world is seeing this. I wish I could show you some of the commentary, from India's neighborhood, how jealous they are. But if I may, very briefly, look at a large number of Chinese students study in the United States, a large number of Chinese tourists come to the United States, but increasingly they're looked at with suspicion because they're stealing American technology and taking it back to China. That's the apprehension, and that's why a lot of restrictions are now being put in American universities. Does that happen with Indian students? No. They love Indian students. They want Indian students. What is Prime Minister Narendra Modi talking to the Americans about? So let's sit together in our universities. Let's think together. Ideate. From the level of ideation, we must be together. So you think together, you plan together, you do your research and development together, then you manufacture together, use for both your armed forces or your space technology or wherever else, and then you benefit the world. So this is how India thinks. India doesn't want to steal something, take it away and keep it for ourselves and then profit from it. No. This Indian philosophy about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam or the whole world is my family, it comes from your entire thought process. And when you look at this flex of Indians, I'll tell you how it works. When the Prime Minister went there for the first time, something very big on this visit in 2024, not being talked about extensively, Nabila, is Vikas bhi or Virasat bhi. You know what is Virasat? Virasat is India's stolen antiquities, our idols, the statues, things that have been stolen from India over decades, perhaps even centuries, and they may be in private museums or private homes in the United States of America. India's bringing them back. 297 such antiquities are being returned by the Americans to India just today. In fact, President Joe Biden had 3 of those huge idols in his house, which are being presented to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And give me 20 seconds. I've just spoken to somebody. I want to list out some of those statues and idols and antiquities that are being returned to India. A 10th century Apsara sandstone statue is being returned to India. 10th century. Wow. It was stolen from India. It went to the United States. Now the US is returning it back. A Jain Tirthankar 15th century bronze idol statue is being returned. A 16th century Lord Ganesha idol from southern India, that's being returned. A 17th century idol of Lord Vishnu from the eastern part of our country, that's being returned. So 297 this year. 167 in 2021, 105 in 2023, 10 in 2015. So 578 till 2016 and 297 today. So the Prime Minister is bringing back India's cultural heritage back to our country, and not just from the US. Whichever country he goes to, he says return that stuff that had been stolen. One day I sincerely hope we get the Kohinoor back.
Well, I see that's possibly why the love and admiration for the Prime Minister, because where else and who else can really boast of actually attracting 16,000 people from 40 different states of the 50 in the United States to come together on one platform, all in honor, love, appreciation, admiration for a Prime Minister. I highly doubt anyone else from India has received this kind of adulation and honor as Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. And you've listed out the reasons to why, some of the reasons to why he's adored.